Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to City Skylines Snowfall. Today, I've decided to turn on the day-night cycle because I forgot how pretty this city looks at nighttime. Look at that. That is beautiful. This building here is beautiful. This building here it exists, and generally the city just looks really good at nighttime. I think it might be assisted by the lighting thing I'm using, which, I mean, I can very quickly go into gameplay and turn off. It's Photoreal 3, by the way. Yeah, it just ups the contrast. You can see it in the background there. It just makes it look a little bit more gritty, and I like it. I really, really do. These roads really need some snowplows to come out to them. But whatever the case, that doesn't matter. What we're going to be doing today is, first off, switching back to daytime. Daytime. Actual daytime, not dawn. And we're going to be coming in here, and we're going to be clearing out these good old snow dumps, because I want to move them. And I also want to de-zone a huge area just here. I want to get rid of all of that, and I want that all to go away, because I'm going to change Autumn Heights. I'm going to change Autumn Heights from an industrial zone to basically a proper little city center. And that might take a little bit of work, but it's totally going to be worth it, because we don't really need as much office zoning up there as we had. I would kind of like to bring a little bit more down this way, because this is sort of, there's a lot more people living down here than up here. Like, there's a lot of people living on this side of the city. So it would probably be worth making that change, and I figure we can certainly do that. I'm also going to come in and get rid of this fire house, the little one there, because we actually don't need it, because we have a big fire station right here. So that's probably for the best. I'm also going to move this little taxi depot to there. Would actually be pretty nice. That's not a bad place for it. This big fire station can go. Actually, in there is not a bad place for it. Let me yeah, I'll do that. That seems fine to me. I'm also going to just go ahead and get rid of some of these buildings, because I want to make some changes. Is prop and tree, and it is on. I want to make some changes to this little subway, because I want to do a pedestrian path from there to there, and there to there. Because that way, it's possible for people to come from the subway straight onto that pedestrian path and go do their thing, which is very important to me. I'm also going to... What is this? That's just a building. Go away, sir. Thank you very much. Let's now stop emptying all of these. And I'm going to move them. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do it quickly and bulldoze them, because that's much easier. And also this road, because zoning and that building. But let's come in and do something like that. Seems fine to me. Then we'll do a little bit of pedestrian path there, and that should be good. But what we'll do is we'll come over to Park Industrial Park, and we'll chuck in a little bit of a few more snow dumps here. To be honest, we probably only need 2 over here. I really don't want to overcrowd this area with them, because we've seen what happens when you have way too many snow dumps and snowplows in one space. And I'm not really sure I want to repeat that again, so we'll do 2 there, and that should be good. Let me just check some of my needs at the minute. Water is fine. Heating is actually getting down there a little bit, so that's something to pay attention to. I guess I'll come over here and add another boiler station. In fact, how many do we have over here? We have 6 of them, right? So I'm going to add 6 boiler stations to Park Industrial Park. That's ridiculous to say. I need to add more than 6, because our demand is, the supply of heating isn't so great right now. So we'll add all of those. We will connect those together, like so, and like so. And then we can go ahead and delete all of these ones, because again, this isn't going to be an industrial area anymore. So that's a good thing. I'm also going to get rid of this cargo dock, because again, we really don't need it. This is going to be a commercial area and a sort of town city center thing rather than, you know, what it was. So that means that over here we're going to need to do some redevelopment because this road is sort of in the way. So let's get rid of that road and we'll go ahead and bring in a cargo harbor. I would do the hub, but I really don't want to have to try and bring a train around here. So we'll do one cargo harbor, and I'll actually do another one just for the hell of it, and then we'll sort of redesign this avenue and the way it comes around. But let's first connect these together, which should be very interesting for in terms of traffic. But let's see what we can do. I actually think it might be a good idea to do this road, the 4-lane road, and sort of, maybe I should just do a straight road actually, rather than trying to do what I was doing there. Let's see, if I come off of there, and I come off of there, so that's a straight road, that's what I want. So if I bring this to that point, and then just straight angle like that, that seems fine to me. And that doesn't seem as pleasant as I hoped it would be, but my thinking is that if I do the 4-lane road, I can sort of have this curve up like that, which... No, we're just going to do the 6-lane one. We're going to go back and do the 6-lane one in a second, but let me just see if I can angle this up to the same junction there. Please, please work with me. Work with me, cities, come on. There we go. That's, not as pretty as I would have liked. I'm gonna make this work, I'm telling you. It is gonna work. There we go. That's better than what we had, but still not quite perfect. Let's go like this and that. Better. Bit steep, but better, so it'll do the job. Can we make this have a nice little curve on it? Again, not perfect, but definitely better. And I actually think that's probably okay, as it is. This bit in here, I mean, I guess I'll try and tweak. We'll try and get a curve in there. So let's get the 6-lane road. Let's go from there to 20. I said 20 units, and then curve like that. Again, bit weird there, but it will do the job. This bit here, I'm just going to freeform because I really don't think a curve is going to be the way to do it. So let's... yeah, that'll do, whatever. It's fine. They're connected, not necessarily in the best way, but they're two cargo harbors in a better place than what they were previously, and that's what I was aiming for. So let's come in here and let me demolish some of these roads. In fact, let me demolish all of these roads and all of the pedestrian paths, because I do have an idea for this. And I have sort of toyed around with the idea a little bit. So I do want trams to be a thing up here. So that's something we're going to be needing to have on our roads, like so. This... Oh, those are bus lines having problems, and I think I know what bus lines those are going to be. Let's see, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to need to get rid of the two Autumn Heights lines. So let's get rid of Autumn Heights line 2 and Autumn Heights line 1. Okay, and then what I need to do is I need to go to buses. I need to grab the bus stop for this line and move it to there, and then I need to get rid of that one. Then this purple line can have something similar. So basically, the two lines, you know, the line that comes from here to Autumn Heights still exists, and the Autumn Heights to Emerson and Foggy line still exists. The subways still exist, and everything still functions. That's very important, because if it doesn't function, I need to do it all again, rather than just two of the lines, which will be very, very simple. So what I want to do here is I would like... Is I want to basically have a proper little box type thing in here. I want to have a sort of inner park, basically, is what I'm aiming for. So let me do a road like that, and let me do a road like that. And I may do one up here somewhere as well. That might make a little bit more sense. Even there, although that's a little close to that junction, should be okay. And in theory, I could do that, right? Yeah. That actually works. That I'm completely fine with. Although this junction, that's way too small. That would be an absolute nightmare for traffic. But what we'll do is we'll come in with some pedestrian paths, as we do. If you've been watching this series, you'll know I absolutely love and adore pedestrian paths. And what I want to do is bring that to there. And I would also like to bring a couple of them through there as well. So those connect up quite nicely. That way people can cross the roads here and get onto the paths. I would also like to bring a pedestrian road this way. Like so. And then one from here to there and there. So that sort of connects around and lets everyone get to where they're going. What I would also like to do is have a little bit of a connection there. Possibly? That's not entirely necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to do the same here, just for decoration, I suppose. And we'll do the same up here as well. So that is a bunch of pedestrian paths linking the area, letting you through the buildings if you need to get through them. It might be useful to have one in the middle, but I don't think I'll do that just yet. I'm just thinking of this from a public transport point of view, because what I want is I'm going to put a bus stop in front of this metro station, and I'm also going to eventually redo my bus lines again. I know we did them last episode, and I just want to mention that, actually. That I'm aware my bus lines aren't very good when it comes to the bus lines I created in the last episode. I am fully aware of that. I'm not entirely happy with them myself, and I fully intend to fix them. But that is going to be in a future episode. By the way, if you're watching this on the day it goes out, fun fact, I'm not at home at all. And won't be for the next couple of days, so every video on the channel for the next couple of days has been pre-recorded. I'm away. Basically, not at home. And, that's interesting. Just because there's really not much to talk about when you're just placing pedestrian paths randomly. So I just thought I'd share that with you. So, there you go. You know something, you learn something new every day, even if it really doesn't make any difference to your life. You're welcome, Internet. You are, welcome. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the tree brush. Let's up the size a little bit, drop the strength down to about there. And, I'll just take out all of the trees for this area, so I can see exactly what I'm going to be doing. And so I can, put in my own trees and my own custom parks in a little bit. So, that's the area. I reckon I should probably do another path just there. Because it makes sense. It sort of makes everything match a little bit. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say one there would make more sense. Because then we sort of have the same spacing here, and that is the middle. Which I'm also going to do, for the hell of it. So there we go. We have that. We have one down this end, if I'm not mistaken. Which is there. What I'd actually like to do is something like this, so the buildings can be the same size on either side. Then that as well. Get rid of that bit, I suppose. Take that to there, and that should be fine. It looks a bit like a mess, I know, but it's gonna look good when it builds up. I promise. It's gonna look pretty good, possibly, sort of good. So that'll be okay. Let's redo the bus line. Not redo them, but let's bring them back in here. So this is the one that comes from Crescent Hills. So it's gonna come down to there, I suppose. That kind of makes sense. This is the one from Emerson and Foggy, which can go from there to there, I guess? That does kind of make sense. Or even there, but I think putting them beside each other could be a good idea. Unless I could do... Could I do that? I guess that works, and then that... No. Then this one going there also works. Oh, having them on the same stop actually works quite nicely. That would be good, because then people can immediately transfer onto a bus that's going to take them towards Emerson. So that's nice. That's a thing I want to do. What I'll also do is get some new bus lines for Autumn Heights. And we're going to start those, I guess, there. So it starts in that spot. It's going to come down, or maybe it isn't. Maybe it should go up. I don't actually know what where the best place to start this would be. Let's see. Are these sort of maybe opposite those? Maybe opposite those would be a good place. So it comes out that way. It can, I guess, come over to there. Then sort of come down into this space. And have a stop on that side. Then come over towards... This is going to be a residential area, so it's going to have a stop on that side, I guess. Then it would have to do this weird loop back on itself. That's peculiar, but I'm going to... No, it would never do that. Maybe I only need one sort of looping bus line for Autumn Heights. That is a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. So maybe having it sort of come in and stop there would be okay. So have it come in and stop there. Have it come down that way and stop on that side. Have it stop there and in there. And then it can sort of look back on itself really nicely. So that's AUTUMN Heights Line 1. I'm going to turn off budget control. I'm going to select the route master. And we're going to see how many buses it actually only did one. Which is good. That's okay. One bus. I'll add 2 more. So we can get a couple of route masters on there. But that's not a bad thing, actually, what we've got there. That's all the buses sort of collecting in this area. The downside is that we don't actually have any crossings here, so everyone's going to have to go the whole way around. So what I'm actually going to do is create a proper little pedestrian overpass. So we'll go up to 6. We'll go... Oh, really? I really need to go to 9, don't I? Okay, so 9 down to ground level, and there. Then we want to go across, down to ground level, which I think actually is there and there. And so people should be able to use that to go up and over and get to the other bus stop, in theory. I'd be curious to see if that actually works. Although no one's really getting off of the buses right now is the problem. Oh, no, there's a couple of people. But I think they're actually waiting to transfer. Oh, no, there they go. Now, here's the question. Are you guys actually going to do what I think you're going to do? Because it really looks like they are. They're going to... Yeah, one of them did cross just to come back that way. That's annoying. Are we going to see anyone use this? That's the real question. Although people are using the buses. That is nice. That is super nice to see. I guess we might see more people use this at some point. So for the meantime, we'll just leave it as it is. I'm going to switch back to daytime just so I can do my zoning for this area. So I reckon what we'll do is we'll get our services in here. So fire, oh, this is actually health coverage. Health coverage is just going to be a hospital, which can actually go in there really nicely. So we'll do that. Fire coverage is pretty much spot on, although I've really neglected a lot of my city, and I've also disconnected electricity to a lot of my city. That's not something I should ever laugh at, but, well, it doesn't surprise me that I've done it again. Fire coverage could actually do with a station there. So I'll do just that. That's actually going to be pretty good for the city. This area could also use a police station, which could go there, I suppose. Isn't the worst place in the world for it. And I think I'd also like to do some parks in here. An actual park, though, not one of mine. So something like, do any of these actually fit? Oh, that does. Kind of beautifully as well. There we go. That'll do. Seems fine to me. Let's get the electricity connected again, though. I keep doing that. I keep disconnecting parts of my city, which I need to not do. It's really not a good habit to have, is disconnecting the electricity to parts of your city. But there we go. They should all be reconnected, which is excellent news. These are all in here, and again, I'm still not seeing anyone using this overpass. Maybe I should flip it around, or maybe I should make it a little bit more steep. Let's see. So we will. Oh, how steep can I make this, though? That's the real question. 0 to 9. 1, 2, 3. So that's how steep I can make it. Okay, so what if I did that? 1, 2, 3. It needs to be that steep, and it needs to be that steep. It can't be any less. So that is about as good as the overpass can get. I think. I really... Oh, you know what I could do? I could actually do that kind of thing and sort of have stairs on both sides. As pointless as that would actually be, it may encourage people to use this, is my thinking. Plus, it ends up sort of taking up better space than it otherwise would. So let's do that. Let's do that. Then we can connect... Oh, we really can't do that? Okay. We can connect there at least. So that should maybe get some people using it. I realize I could have made that more symmetrical than it is, but I think it looks a little bit more interesting when it's off-center. It just looks weird, and that's not a bad thing. So let's see if we actually can fill this area up the way I was planning to. So we'll do a bunch of housing there. We'll not do there though. In fact, could I maybe just do that? I could. Okay, that works for me. We'll do a bunch of housing there. We'll do some residential up here. We'll do some offices just here. Then I'll do some more commercial just here. Did I say that was residential? Right, residential, commercial, offices, commercial, offices again? Yeah, I guess that would work. I'm actually going to take out this strip here, though, because I think that should be commercial as well. So let's just do that. Then these little strips here should probably also be commercial. Bring those up to there and there. These bits at the ends are going to be residential, because I like the idea that they would overlook what's soon going to be a park. Then the bits in the corners and the outside could be offices, I guess. Okay, so this is what we're looking at with Autumn Heights. We have a whole bunch of residential zoning here. Commercial up here, a bit along the park as well. But generally, it's a nice mix of everything that I think will look absolutely excellent when it's built up. This area in here, as I'm sure you've guessed, is going to be a park, which is, I think, possibly going to be the biggest park we have in the city. I am going to outline it with pedestrian paths so we don't end up putting any zoning there at any point. And I think I'm also going to maybe try and make some interesting connections here, actually. Let's see. So, is that where I'd want it to be? No, that's where I'd want that to be. So that connects to there. That connects to there. Then these all connect together. And those are going to be sort of the only properly paved paths through the park. Although, really, I should do a straight one up. No, well, maybe not up the middle. Oh, what the hell, we'll do one up the middle as well. It's going to be a more sort of paved-looking park than it was originally going to be. But we may see people using those, we may not. But I like how this is looking. Let's get this all built up and all, zoned. It is zoned. Built up is the word I'm looking for. Well, it's certainly somewhat built up. Not completely, but it's not as bad as it would have been. Also going to set an old... Oh, no, actually, I was going to set an old-time policy for Autumn Heights. That would be a terrible idea, considering some major roads go through this area. But there are people actually using this bridge, which is super great. There's no one getting off of that bus, which is not as great. But we do have a metro station here and a metro station there, which is super busy. Which reminds me, do I have any... Just making sure I don't have any, like, disconnected paths or anything. No, we're good. Those are some busy metro stations. I'm also pretty sure, yeah, people are actually using these paths, which I'm actually very happy about, because people often don't use my parks. This is the thing, like, my parks rarely get used. Whatever the case, let's set it to daytime and do some decoration for the park. A lot of people are using that as well. Anyone going to use this? Is anyone even going to get off of a bus? Oh, those guys did. And immediately went that. Okay. I mean, that's fine. They're using my park. Those guys going that way. Those guys going that way. Fair enough. It's just cool to see. Literally no one's interested in using the little pedestrian. Oh, that guy's keen. Okay. And he's away into the park. Sure. That's fine. That's completely fine by me. Here's a question, though. That pink bus line, Autumn Heights 1, that is 3 vehicles on it. I've yet to see one of the Autumn Heights line vehicles. I haven't actually spotted one, which kind of tells me... No, there they are. There's one of them. So here's the real question. Is anyone actually on it? No, there was one guy. One old guy, and he's using the overpass. Okay, that makes it all worth it. What's he doing, though? He's going that way, and he's waiting for a bus. So that actually does... They do use the... Okay. That is all I needed to know. Let's actually make a park. So, I'm thinking with this park, I'm going to make it kind of enclosed. Not fully enclosed, but partially, just because I kind of like the idea that part of it's going to be sort of a quiet area that you can sit down and just relax, and part of it's going to be a place you can take your kids, and they can play, and you can sit on a bench and have a lot of vodka or something. I don't know what parents do. That's a thing we can do. Let's just get a bunch of trees around the park and make it sort of enclosed. That way people can't see you drinking in public. Don't drink in public. It's not good. Oh, so while I was getting a bit carried away with adding all that stuff, there was actually a brief period there where a lot of the city didn't actually have heating. And these guys actually don't have electricity either, so that's probably something to look into. I reckon I should do a little bit more zoning here, just to fill out my industrial zone a bit. And possibly just run some power lines anyway, just to make sure these constantly have electricity. Because I want those to function, and my god, there is a lot of traffic coming from here. That's... Oh, that's scary. That's a lot of vehicles coming into the city now. I really didn't think about that. I didn't think about the damages of removing industry from the city and putting it outside the city. Because now there is so much traffic that needs to come into the city. I may need some more train connections. But we'll look into that in the not too distant future. Also, speaking of the future, I apparently re-enabled the futuristic buildings. I didn't mean to do that. Didn't want to do that. But apparently it's happened. So I guess what I'll do is I'll put it to all of you once more and ask, do you want the futuristic buildings? Because the majority of people didn't want them last time. So, this time we'll have, you know, we're a democracy. Sort of. That's a dangerous promise to make as a YouTube channel. But we're sort of a democracy. We're a selective democracy. Sure. And these are the futuristic villains, these purple ones. And these kind of pointy ones as well. Do we keep them? Do they go? It's entirely your call. These ones I think I'm going to disable anyway just because I don't like the pyramid ones, but the rest of them are kind of okay. So, you know, I'll leave that up to you. Anyway, let me get on with my park, goddammit. So we have our outline of trees, which looks pretty good. It's not completely symmetrical, not all the trees are the same, and I like it. I really do like it. I think these two spaces in the center can be where our actual sort of park things are going to go. So one of these is going to be for kids to play in. And I reckon that's going to be this side because it's near the buses. So what we'll do is sort of come off of here with a dirt sort of gravel path that can go over to there. And we'll come off of here with a similar path that's going to go to there. And basically in those spaces we're going to have two very different things. One of these is going to be nice and quiet, and the other one's going to be for kids to play in. I'm not quite sure how we're going to manage to keep one quiet, but we can use our imagination, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we can do. We all play video games. I assume that's an interesting point. I imagine there's people in the world that don't really play video games but watch gaming videos, because I mean, video game like videos, Let's Play is often compared to sports when people say like, why do you watch this but not just play it yourself? Like people say, well, why do you watch football but not play it yourself? Or why do you watch this sport but not play it yourself? By that logic, there's people, it's mind-blowing to me, good lord. That had never actually occurred to me, that there are probably people that watch Let's Play stuff and straight up just don't play video games. That's, wow. I'm not going to say that's weird, because that's really interesting. But, because the thing with football is it's not necessarily, like, with football, it takes, I feel like, for me at least, a lot more effort to, like, even contemplate getting off of my arse than video games do. Like, football involves, you know, being somewhat physically capable, which technically I am. I mean, I can run occasionally. If a fire alarm goes off or something, I'm sure I can run. I just don't know I'd be willing to do it kind of voluntarily, for fun. It doesn't sound like running. I remember in school running, it's like, oh, we're doing running today. We're doing cross-country running in PE. It's like, oh, great. Last week we did dodgeball. This week, I'm gonna die. Good. That was always the fun part of PE. When it's like, oh, I can't wait to get to PE and run about and have fun. Oh, cross-country? Well, funny, I have suddenly forgot my kit. That happened way more often than I'm gonna admit. I very conveniently forgot my PE gear a lot in school. Yeah, that explains a lot. Okay, I like this. I like that both areas here are quite enclosed. I like that I've used a lot of my favorite tree there, the Japanese cherry. And I think I'll just do one more just there, and maybe another one of those trees just there. I love how this looks. I really do. I love how enclosed it feels. I think it looks absolutely perfect. Let's just do a couple of lights about here. We'll do another extra light in the park. I guess we'll do a light up by this. And yeah, I actually really like that. I don't know what to do with these spaces, though. I really don't, because I mean, I don't want to decorate them in the same way. I guess I may just do some miscellaneous trees. I guess that could technically work if I did trees like that. You know, bring the brush size up a little bit. Oh, wow. That's a bit more dense than I thought it would be. But it kind of works, I think. I'm just going to do that because it's not that I'm lazy. I mean, I just said that I frequently forgot my PE gear in school. Not forgot, I frequently misplaced. Very, very significant difference. One of them was intentional. You can figure out which. But it's not that I'm lazy with this kind of thing. It's just that there really isn't much I can do. Like, I don't have any point of reference for this. I've never been to New York to see something like Central Park, and I'm not bringing up Google Maps because I'll just copy it, and not in a good way. But I actually think that looks okay. I think it's fairly simple. It's nice enough. It does the job. And now I'm just curious to see how the pedestrians are moving about here, which they're actually doing a pretty good job of. There's a lot of them, which is nice. And I also realize I've totally forgotten about a key feature I wanted here, which was that I wanted to actually put a bunch of trees in these corner spaces to just brighten the place up a little bit. So let me do just a few of those about the place. We'll do the same. We should totally do the same along here, because this area really isn't going to have much to it if I don't. So we'll do one like that as well. We'll do a nice couple of cherry trees. We'll do a few of these. That looks pretty good to me. We'll do a few of these down here as well. Like so. We'll get a cherry tree there. And we'll do the same here as well. These very slightly pink trees combined with the cherry trees just look excellent. I really love that look. And here as well is where we need some. So we'll do a cherry tree on that side. And we'll do another one just there. And we'll decorate nicely with a bunch of those trees. This space here, I will make some kind of park in. I just don't want to do it right away. I actually want to make sure that these buildings are the buildings are all okay, the buses are all okay, and the last thing we really need to do is come in and do a quick tram line. So we'll just do one of these. This can actually sort of be the alternating line for the district, I suppose. So have this come up to there. We'll have it come down to... It really could just loop around like that, actually. Oh, no, it does have to go in there. Okay, that's actually not so bad. It can stop opposite that and can go to there. So that is technically going to be Autumn Heights Line 2. And do I have any different types of tram? I do not. Okay, we probably don't need 5 of them. Let's take 2 off and keep budget control off. So there's some trams gonna be heading out. There they go. Off on their way there, which will be lovely to see. But this area, like, I'm actually super pleased with it. It actually looks kind of good, and that's surprising to me. Because I didn't think it would. But I think the red trees, I think the fact that it's evening and the lights are all coming on, and I'm really happy with this area. I really am. And I think that's probably the perfect place to leave this episode. I should also quickly go into budget control before I do. Because this line here has 6 vehicles on it with 7 passengers. So we're going to get rid of like 3 of those vehicles. Like so. Because that's a little bit silly. There we go. Oh my god, there's a lot of people waiting in that subway station. But I think the new Autumn Heights looks absolutely lovely. I think it's much, much better. And I think those buses... No, those buses are still stopping, so those are 2 that are just completely bunched up. That's annoying. It really annoys me that buses still do that. But whatever the case, that is going to be it for today. The new Autumn Heights is looking lovely. I'm quite pleased with that. We will need to find a strategy to deal with just the sheer amount of traffic that's not coming into the city over here. A good first step might be to upgrade this to an 8-lane road, because it does need to be able to handle a bunch more traffic than it previously was. So maybe this would be a good start. And maybe continuing said 8-lane road up this way a little bit would be a reasonable idea. So we'll do just that. Bring it the whole way up to, I guess, there. And then we'll just turn this into a, keep that as a standard road. So that might help a little bit. I know we're having a huge death wave in the city right now. That's been happening for a while. We've had a death wave for quite some time. But I'm not too worried about it. I can't upgrade any of these, and traffic lights there really should not be on, so switch those off, and let me just switch this a little bit. So that lane goes to there and there. No, that doesn't actually work like that at all. That lane goes to there, and then this lane goes to there and there. So that might encourage traffic to use more lanes, is what I'm hoping. In fact, I really could enforce that if I force them to stay in lane. Which may or may not work, this is the thing. That might prove to be a very bad idea. But I think they're doing it anyway. So, whatever. They can change lanes up here. There's 4 lanes to do it, and it should all be okay. But as I said, that is going to be it for today. So, thank you kind of for watching. This has been City Skylines Snowfall, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.